Oh, there we are.
Yeah.
We're live. I don't know how live, but live enough. Live enough that, oh my God, since you're both here, Jeff, Jawn Louis, I wanted to tell you something. I wanted to tell you both something, which is that Jeff doesn't even like sports.
You lying piece of trash. You're a bad person who's bad. I'm just going to put it out there for everybody to see. The YouTube space, the sphere now knows that you're a bad person who doesn't like sports.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree.
I might be on the wrong podcast then, because I don't understand. I thought this was about sports, but forget it. We'll just go with it. I'm already here now.
That's because you're a fucking fool.
Yeah, we tricked the shit out of you.
Yeah, I mean, you just got bodied.
Hey, everybody, welcome to You Don't Even Like Sports Live. I am your host, Adam Todd Brown, one of your hosts. Another of your hosts, Jeff May, is here.
Hey, everybody, it's me, Jeff May, from You Don't Even Like Sports.
From Stuff. And then another of your regular hosts, Kim Krall, doesn't care enough to be here this week.
She has to work a job for money.
To get paid money. Woo.
Loser.
Big hairy deal. Call in. In Kim's co-hosted spot this week, returning champion, Jawn Louis is here. John, how's it going?
What up, though, y'all? I'm trying to get over that Lions loss. We'll see how it goes.
John, we have that to talk about.
John took the belt from Kim. He's now the champion.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm not sure the champion of what, but hey.
Hardcore champion. At any point in time, I can come beat the Christ out of you and take your stuff.
All right, I got a Louisville Slugger then, because you got me by about 3 inches.
Jeff's not going to go to Detroit.
I've been to Detroit.
Shut up.
Oh,
yeah, that's how this podcast works now. So yeah, we're here. We are actually here to talk about some sports. I'll get to the tennis news right away. No one cares. No one cares.
I love that you had it as your number one thing to talk about. And I'm like, yeah, let's get this one out of the way.
It's, I think, how every episode is going to kick off with obligatory tennis news. And this week, it's really quick. The Australian Open finals happened. My actual favorite tennis player, Aryna Sabalenka, won the Australian Open. She's my favorite as long as she's not playing an American. I'm very nationalist about tennis, but as long as she's not like playing Coco Gauff or something, Aryna Sabalenka, absolutely my favorite player. She won the Australian Open, first defending champion in a long, long time, like over 10 years.
What place did Coco come in?
Coco Gauff lost to Aryna Sabalenka in the semifinals. Ooh. And that was a rematch of last year's U.S. Open final, which Coco Gauff won. Coco Gauff, I think, leads their head-to-head series 4-3.
Sounds like a rubber match. Call that.
If Coco Gauff had won, I think she would have been number 2 in the world. But I think right now she's still number 3. But she won easy. She won in 2 sets. She beat Qinwen Zheng, who made the top 10 for the first time ever.
Holy shit, she did? So I don't have no idea who that is.
I'm going to assume that she's out of China or Taiwan.
Iowa. Yeah.
Something like that.
I mean, that is a decidedly Chinese name.
Yeah, she is very much from China. The men's final was way more interesting. It went Jannik Sinner defeated.
Hell yeah. What a name.
And with that name, I would invite people to look up Jannik Sinner's face and take that name into account and tell me what country you think he's from.
I don't have the slightest idea how to even Google that first name. It sounds the way, and I'm pretty sure it's not spelled the way I'm imagining.
He's actually from Detroit. He lives next to John.
Yeah, exactly.
Jannik Sinner.
Jannik Sinner is Italian, and every time I find that out,
really,
like
what the?
Yeah, if you
want to play the tennis, are really nice, huh?
I thought he was gonna be like Ukrainian or some shit.
Yeah, and he looks like he's from Norway.
Yeah, it has really Scandinavian energy coming out of that name. Something tells me that there's immigration involved in that. No, I don't think Jannik is a naturally Italian name.
Or Sinner.
It's a me, a Yannick.
I mean, Sinner. I mean, for God's sakes, Rome is right there. So
Yeah, true.
Perfect name to have next to the Vatican.
Yeah, the men's final, Daniil Medvedev was up 2-0. You have to win. It's a best of 5 in men's finals in the majors. And Medvedev was up 2-0. He was about to win the 3rd set, which would have won the match. Sinner came back, won that 3rd set, won the 4th set, won the 5th set. I was up until 4:30 in the morning watching that.
Oh, 4:30.
Yeah, because the match started at 12:30 a.m. Pacific time. It's the only time I'd rather be on the East Coast watching sports, because getting up at 3:30 in the morning is a little more reasonable than staying up until 4:30 at my age.
It comes to me at that point in time where I would just record it and then wake up in the morning.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
talk to me until I get through this.
I thought you were going to say record it, then text Adam like the game is still live while you watching it on DVR. He said that's how Chet watches football games.
Yeah, that's Chet Wild. He watches every football game on delay so he doesn't have to watch commercials, because Chet's time is that fucking valuable.
I'm sorry. If you want, I know this is not a sports thing specifically, but if you want to watch things for free, you're going to have to watch commercials. Like, things don't just poof magically into air and exist.
Or you can watch it on a 45-minute delay and fast forward through the commercials like Chet does. And I'll try to text him about a play and he'll be like, hey, it's still pregame for me. And I'm like, man, there's 4 minutes left.
I don't care how pregame it is for you. I'm talking to you about what's happening in the world now.
And then I'll be in bed at like 11:30 at night. I'll get 15 texts in a row about this game that I watched hours ago. It's annoying, Chet. I know you're watching. He's not.
Chet's watching.
No, he's not. Get out of
here.
Hey,
speaking of tennis, Adam, have you heard? I heard him talking about it on the Levitard show. It's like a more American version of tennis, where like they allow the crowd to cheer and shit like that, and it's like DJs and stuff. Do you have any idea what I'm talking about?
I went to that in Los Angeles. It's called the Ultimate Tennis Showdown, and it's actually pretty fun. The scoring rules are a little different, and yeah, you can talk and move around. The DJ is weird. Like, they'll just start, like, it's exactly what you think. Like, there will be, like, if there's a moment in the match where they're exchanging a lot of shots back and forth, DJ might like start playing some background music to build the tension. It's like, it's plenty tense enough now.
That is weird, but everything else sounds fun. That just sounds like basketball. Like, I understand playing stuff in between, you know what I'm saying, plays, but
they should have t-shirt cannons, but with souvenir tennis balls. Like, they should just have the American Gladiators come out with the assault cannon filled with tennis balls and shoot them into the crowd.
Tennis should be like Serbian basketball with just fire.
Yeah, I fucking seen video. That looks amazing.
Does it look amazing?
I want to go to one of those
games. The game I'm thinking of where the crowds are going, they throwing fireworks and crowds jumping up and down and shit.
I want to go to one of those games from afar.
Yeah, like, I was gonna say, you'll die if you go.
Yeah, I want to be in like a helicopter above, or like I'm sure they have gun turrets all around the top of those stadiums. I want to be in one of those, maybe.
I think that was Ukrainian. I don't know. I just seen the clip of some European basketball game.
It was Serbia, because and people were like, that's why crowds mean nothing to these players, like the players.
Yeah, Jokic was doing a press conference a couple weeks ago, and someone asked him about fans taunting him, and he was like, dude, I played in Serbia. There's nothing these fans can do to actually.
When you see the photos and the videos of like fire in the background, the funny thing about it with Serbian basketball is you're like, okay, is this part of the show or part of like a war?
Right.
Yeah. Or is that just a series of apartment buildings on fire?
Is that just Serbia?
Like, college basketball fucking sucks now, but March Madness, like, once you get to the Elite Eight, that's a dope vibe. But that would be a whole nother podcast about college, at least the men's division. The product is garbage to me now.
Yeah, women's basketball has women's college basketball has really overtaken men's basketball for me in terms of interest.
You know what's interesting is in in New England, especially Connecticut, it's like kind of been that way for a while.
Oh yeah.
Like
Oh,
my
yeah,
grandfather was a huge fan of UConn, and
Oh,
then
that
when they
makes
had
sense.
Sun,
'Cause
like
UConn.
and they have a pro team. Like Connecticut gets a pro team
Yeah,
in the
because of
Connecticut Sun.
UConn.
Yeah, and so it's just very well. They also have such an available arena in the Mohegan Sun spot too. It's like a perfect sized place for them to play.
Yeah, I love that the Las Vegas Aces they play at Mandalay Bay, right on the casino floor. I think.
Our Thanksgiving destination.
So let's talk
Come
about
hang out and kill us on Thanksgiving, folks.
let's talk about another NBA story. The NBA put a rule in place starting this season that says you have to play 65 games in order to be eligible to win the MVP award. And people are not happy about it. Tyrese Halliburton just came out and said he thinks it's stupid, which for the record, he can miss 3 more games this season and still be eligible for the MVP. And I know the name doesn't sound super duper familiar, but Tyrese Halliburton might actually win MVP this year.
So I was looking into this, and one of the things that I find very interesting is when you go back to the times when the game was even more physical in the 90s, and you look at like the average stats for people like Karl Malone, Jordan, Larry Bird, they're generally, except for Larry Bird towards the end of the career, like well above that threshold.
Right.
Like, and that was back in the time when the Pistons were trying to stab you on the way up to the through the lane. So like, I am not a person that says I'm not a shut up and dribble kind of guy. I'm not an old man that's like, things are different than when I was young. But like in this case, it's like, yo, so you don't get an award.
Yeah.
If you got an injury, okay. Like,
and you shouldn't. Like,
yeah, like, kind of.
I'm always pro labor, except when it comes to the fans. Shit, I would take it a step further that like they need to announce at least like 12 hours ahead of time if a star is going to sit out unless it's like something serious. It's like you got fans, there's people that they can only afford to go to one NBA game a year. You know, they might pay $600 for them and their kid. Then an hour before, Joel Embiid can't play. You know,
I think. Well, first off, I think he's badly injured. But
I'm just saying in general.
Here's the thing. Well, that happened. I remember I went to like a Celtics Cavaliers preseason game in Worcester, and what's his name LeBron didn't play, and like the place just like lost their minds. But here's the thing. Like, yes, you're right about like I side with labor. I have slightly less concern for millionaire laborers than I do people that are a paycheck away from losing their homes.
Yeah.
Right.
My issue here also is one, will Tyrese Halliburton in his statement about this, he said, well, it's what the owners want, so we're going to do it. And yeah, I'm sure the owners want it, but the fans want it more.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. In this case, I side with the fans. This is who the rule is for.
Yeah. And also the rule's not saying like, it's not like if you miss 17 games, you're banned from the league. You're not suspended for the season.
Or you even have to pay a penalty.
Yeah. You just can't win MVP. And ostensibly, if you are participating in load management, which is different than an injury, like load management is a thing where players will sit just to like keep their bodies fresh for the playoffs. If you're participating in that and in the midst of that, you get hurt and it spins out of control and you end up missing more than 17 games, weren't you doing that load management for the benefit of the team once you make it to the playoffs? So what's the matter if you don't win an MVP?
Yeah, like, I would also like to add that this is 1 out of 5 games. It is 20%.
Yeah, that's a lot of games
you can miss 20%.
Right.
That would be like not going to work for just 1 day a week.
Yeah. Yeah, and
you get fired if you did that. Jesus.
And so yeah, I think the NBA is being plenty generous in saying if you miss 17 games, you can still win an MVP.
It's for all. Is it all? Is it just MVP? I think it's for all awards. All
Oh,
right.
it might be all postseason awards. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Or
pretty sure.
regular season awards. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, my roommate is saying hi to the live chat, everybody.
Hi, roommate.
Everybody's
Hey.
saying hi right back to you.
And so yeah, I don't think I share the same concerns about
Yeah.
load.
Like they
management.
tried to. Well, they made some rule about resting multiple stars. Like they need to figure it out because like. For one, the scoring is way too high, and then it's just like it's getting ridiculous, man. Like I said, you got people that go to the game, you already there in the last minute they announce such and such isn't going to play. Like they need to work that out, especially if it's load management. I feel like they going to have to get serious, especially now that all the sports leagues are embracing legalized gambling. I feel like eventually Vegas is going to step in like, listen, y'all killing our over-unders because like when it comes to $1 billion, all of that stuff plays into it.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you get in bed with legalized gambling.
Right.
Funny. Illegal gambling. That's where you need to be. Now, another thing about that, because I was thinking a lot about this too, when it comes down to like, there's never been a safer time to be in the NBA for the players. And I understand that injuries happen and wear and tear happens. Like, I totally understand that. But like, people will say like, oh, the rules have changed and it's a lot softer. And they're like, well, they did that in football. And it's like, well, I feel like the injuries in football that were spurned from the rule changes are like potentially like long-term life threatening.
Yeah, you're not getting CTE playing basketball.
Exactly. Like the rules were shifted in basketball to make it a scorer's game. It's why stats don't really matter the same way. Like they're kind of asterisked the same way like the steroid era in baseball. Like when you look at it, it's like, yeah, that person's putting up all those numbers with 0 Dennis Rodmans like fighting for balls. No Bill Lambier. Like who was the last like
there's a Draymond Green or two in the league. I mean, there's only one
right now.
Draymond Green. No, he's back. He's back
for now.
Right.
I was thinking about it and I was trying to look back to the last like old school 90s style player that had prominence. And the only one I could think of was like Ben Wallace, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He really wasn't even like he wouldn't even be considered dirty. He was just strong as shit.
But like scrappy is harder to find now. It's all outside shooting. These games are like 145 to 130.
Yeah, the scoring is nuts. I was watching an interview with Damian Lillard today, and I can't think what's the name of the girl who hosts NBA Today?
Jamel.
No.
I have no idea. All these shows blend together.
Yeah, Jamel Hill hasn't been on ESPN for years.
No, right. That's why she's so vocal on social media.
Yeah. But Malika Andrews, that's who was interviewing him. And she goes, so what do you think you can do to help your team more defensively this season? And I was honestly waiting for Damian Lillard to just be like, I don't know, play defense. Like,
go back in time. I don't know.
Yeah, that's not a thing I do. Like, I don't play defense. So
yeah, I'm not. What's important to note too is that I'm not saying the game is better or worse with these rule changes. It's just much safer, much less wear and tear on the body from an impact perspective. And it's just one of those things where it's like, I don't know, like I'm not going to feel bad for you if you are load, if you're, it's just
managing your load,
managing that load. Right. Got a nice killer load coming.
Yeah, we got to find like a more middle ground where they can make it a little bit more physical. Like the way it is in the playoffs, it should be like that all season. They allow more physicality. The defense is better and stuff like that.
A little bit more let them play. We need the XBA. That's what we need to do. We need The Rock to come in and create the XBA.
Extreme. Wait, XBA. I thought PA.
And I don't think it needs to be like hockey either. Like hockey is a league. They play the same number of games as the NBA. And hockey should do some load management, but they don't. They're a league of like just filled with those people who still go to work even though they have the flu. It's like you're not doing anyone any favors.
Yeah, hockey is one of those sports where they're like, "Hey, you have a broken foot," and they're like, "Yeah, we got tape." It's not like I'm walking on these skates. We're
and no one wants that either. Like, I don't want the NBA to be that. There needs to be.
It's also, look at what happens when a hockey fight happens versus an NBA fight.
Right.
Well, yeah, we call the police when there's an NBA fight.
NBA fight happens, and that is 3 days of like, should these people be kicked out of the game forever?
Should
hockey fight happens, and they're like, good job, Yaroslav.
All right,
great job trying to kill that guy.
Let's talk about another basketball story. I find this very interesting. This is right up my alley. Steph Curry and Sabrina Ionescu are going to face off in a 3-point contest, head-to-head at the NBA All-Star Game. And before you ask, yes, she's going to be shooting from the WNBA 3-point line.
What?
Using WNBA balls.
Okay, the ball I don't care about. I don't know. I feel like it's not that big of it. What is it? How much closer is it?
Hey, man,
it's not that much.
But it is a big deal long term.
Oh,
and
yeah, long term.
It's also how they've learned to play.
Yeah, you're right. Because her whole mechanics will be the same. That's true.
Just like when I think it was Shaq who was like, "Look, here's how you fix the WNBA: lower the rim so they can dunk." It's like these women have been playing on the rim at that height since they were children, and you want to fundamentally change
change
the basic aspect of the game.
The entire arc of shooting.
He does have an interesting point that long term that might make it interesting. But
does dunking make modern day NBA is that what makes the NBA interesting?
I mean, it used to, when Shaq was pulling down. When he was drinking an All Sport or a Pepsi Big Slam and then pulling down the whole thing.
Yeah, that's not happening anymore, though.
Remember that? They were just like, destroy our stuff. We want it on TV.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't the first. Daryl Dawkins did it.
Yeah, I know. I think it was like his first season. Shaq did it like 15 to 25 times or something like that. It was insane.
I know one interview, he was like, "Yeah, I did it on purpose. I was tired. I wanted to get a rest."
Yep, sounds about right.
I mean, I think he also liked being that guy.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is good. I think this is good.
I will definitely watch this. I kind of wish they held off a year and did Steph Curry versus Caitlin Clark, because Caitlin Clark, she shoots like Steph Curry. I have it in the notes. What I would like to see next year is Caitlin Clark and Damian Lillard shooting from the logo. Because Caitlin Clark will throw up a 3 from the logo with zero hesitation. And that would be a fun thing to watch.
I think the big part about this is that Steph and Sabrina are close. Like, they're like friends, aren't they?
Oh.
Like, they have a friendly relationship, whereas like he might like
no,
it's much
she
more
had to like tweet at him to like accept. I mean, I think Steph, once you get to a certain point, like, you're going to have a relationship. But I don't think this is happening because they're friends. I think it's happening because Sabrina Ionescu is one of the best shooters in basketball right now.
So are they doing this like the normal 3-point contest where they each have balls and then they see who scores the highest, or how are they doing this? Because like secretly, we get one good dunk contest every 10 years, but like now, if you on Twitter, the 3-point contest is what has everybody going crazy. That's legitimately the best part of the All-Star game now.
I think because of the differences in where they have to shoot from, they're doing it that way, but on opposite ends of the court.
Yeah. I don't care. If they doing it opposite ends, as long as if they doing it like the 3-point contest, that's when you know what I'm saying. I'll watch it. That'd be interesting. Just give him however long, 90 seconds, however long it is, and then she goes.
Yeah.
Remember when Larry Bird did the 3-point contest while wearing a satin Celtics jacket?
Did he?
He didn't even bother taking his jacket off. Yeah. It's so funny.
I think that's a little bit before my time.
So Larry Bird was actually like a very good basketball player.
Yeah, I know. I just never seen him
for shooting and having his accuracy. And he did it one time where he was showboating. So I think it's the same one where he walked in and said, "Who here's getting second?"
Oh, sure.
I like Larry Bird. I was watching the Isaiah Thomas interview, and he said Larry Bird would get offended if they had a white player guard him.
Oh yeah,
He's like, oh, so that's what y'all think of me? Everybody that played with Larry Bird said he was a beast.
He was also the best trash talker. Like he would snatch your soul on the court.
Yeah. Well, Jordan was good at that too. So yeah, that'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch that because I love the 3-point contest. The dunk contest, they need to just cancel that shit or bring some people from YouTube or something because it gets
the
like,
we don't one mixtape people coming in from 2002.
Well, they
no, like it's these dudes on YouTube that they edited. I'm sure they knock out the 8 times they messed up, but you know they post dope dunks. But I don't give a shit about the dunk contest, the 3-point contest, and the skills challenge is where is that.
It's important.
Last year, I mean, I think he plays in the NBA, but he started as a YouTuber. The guy that won the dunk contest was
that
short white dude named Mac McClung.
Yeah, I don't know if he started as a YouTuber. I don't know where he came from, but yeah, he was out cold. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Once every 7 to 10 years, we get a good one like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did start. Like he started on the internet, I believe, or something like that.
Yeah, it's definitely important to know that any of those flashy dunks that you see on social media, again, it's not real life. It's like the one good one they got on that video.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, this guy was doing it on live television. Like I don't think every single thing that happens on the internet is
but like there's a lot of trick shot videos where they're like, this took us 18 hours to make the shot finally.
Of course, but it would be very risky to do that and then enter the NBA dunk contest and then show up like Stanley from The Office and be like, I actually don't know how to dunk. Sorry. All right. It was really long. Did either of you read this article about the Jets? I think I might have put the wrong link in also because it wasn't on Bleacher Report.
This was about the injury one. You put one that was like about Aaron Rodgers' injury.
Yeah, and it's from a longer article written by Diana Rossini, who I don't understand why ESPN let her go. She was great. And Zach Rosenblatt writing for The Atlantic. And they talked to like 30 different people in the Jets organization. And it seems like Aaron Rodgers kind of inadvertently wrecked that team for the year.
Get out of town.
What you mean? Didn't he bring his trash ass friend from the Packers or something and get a roster spot?
That's one of the things. He like demanded that all these people from the Packers get roster spots who didn't really deserve them.
How much did he pull money wise? Is it most of what the Jets can pay people?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's going to screw it up when you blow your goddamn leg out 8 minutes into the season.
But it's a really interesting story. Like it's way too long to go through all of it, but it seems like at one point the Jets, when they still kind of had the ability to at least make the playoffs, they basically were like, no, the rest of the season is just practice for when Aaron Rodgers comes back. And it's like, what if he doesn't come back? What if he blows his Achilles again in preseason? Like then,
because how old will he be by September? What, 40?
He's going to be pushing 40 if he's not 40 by then already.
Yeah, and with a repaired ACL, and he's like 47 in football years. Yeah, that's the guy that's going to lead us to the promised land.
Yeah, there he is. That's the guy. No medicine for him. He's a man that does not agree with medicine. He's coming off of a surgery. He's going to ayahuasca himself to the Super Bowl, get the Lombardi.
Yeah, I love that he's so vehemently anti-vax and plays for a team owned by Johnson & Johnson.
Right. And he somehow thinks like the Aaron Rodgers types, literally everybody else moved on. It's only the Aaron Rodgers types that didn't get it. They keep trying to bring it up like, yeah, didn't I own you guys? Like, Aaron, we seriously don't care. You guys care. I owned you. Like, Aaron, we don't give a shit. Here, I'm going to bring it up again on this fucking ESPN show.
I'd be surprised if he didn't come in and call Taylor Swift a psyop or something.
Right.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Like
if you read the article, it's not so much that Aaron Rodgers is responsible for derailing this team other than getting hurt on the 4th play of the season. It's more all of the attention that they paid to him and all the hope that they put into him, like, really bothered the rest of the team. And especially the part where they didn't do anything about how bad their quarterback situation was.
I think there's a huge part in the highlighting of a quarterback, especially when they get brought in where they're like, we got it. We got the thing we need. And it's like, how's your O-line? You're like, not great. And it's like, okay, well, that guy's going to get murdered. Like, that guy needs time to be able to do quarterback things. And if you don't pay a lot of money for a quality offensive line, if you don't have a great center, if you don't have 2 great tackles and guards, like, if you do not have that, it doesn't matter who your quarterback is. It doesn't mean a goddamn thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I mean, with all the other parts in place, a good quarterback can be the difference. But in a situation
or above average quarterback, I know we're gonna get to the Lions later, but Jared Goff is a good guy, but he's just above average. But you see what the hell he did with that O-line and everything else.
Yeah. I think Emmitt Smith is a good example too. Like, he's got the most rushing yards in history, but he's not the best running back. He was running behind the absolute best offensive line in history.
Imagine if Barry Sanders had that offensive line.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, that would be like Pete Rose numbers, where you're just sitting there and just be like, I do not believe it. Or like Nolan Ryan. You're like, it's impossible unless they outlaw tackling. Nobody is going.
Or you could just be Walter Payton and be good enough to put up those numbers without that great offensive line. But hey, I'm not here for a Jordan LeBron debate about running backs. Here's what I think the Jets should do. Fire Robert Saleh and hire Bill Belichick. It would be the funniest turn of events if Bill Belichick ends up back in the AFC East with a quarterback and a team that is essentially a good coach and a good quarterback away from losing in the AFC Championship.
This would be like real NWO energy, where they just come back and they're just the bad guys.
Yeah.
This would be like Gum and Nuts energy. Like, imagine fucking Bill Belichick and Aaron Rodgers just walking around saying crazy shit. The most no-nonsense guy and the most complete nonsense guy on the same team. Like, that doesn't mesh well, you know?
Oh, I don't care.
Belichick, the funny thing about Belichick too is he's always been like harnessed as that guy that like is going to show up and like fix the broken player, and it just never works out.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, they're always like, oh, well, they need management. You know, what was it? Hainsworth, right? We got Hainsworth when the Patriots, or like, obviously, you know, the murderer,
or Randy Moss.
Randy. It's so funny. Like, Randy Moss was like hanging out outside of Gillette Stadium with a stereo out playing "In Your Eyes" outside. He was so apologetic when he wanted to leave. When he was like, I was wrong. Please take me back. And they're like, we're good.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think Bill Belichick is going to get hired. I don't see a team agreeing to what he wants, or like, he's like 75 years old. I don't know, man. I wouldn't be surprised if he just doesn't take a job and like, you know what? I think I do enjoy having time off.
He will wither away and die if he does that.
But he's 15 games away from the all-time wins record. I think he won't get a job this year, but I could see him getting a job next year, maybe.
Do you think Bill Belichick will? I mean, it's not like he's worked since Tom Brady, but like, will his system even work without him being the GM? Because I don't think they're going to hire him as the GM and the coach wherever he goes.
Well,
I think that's part of his contract, isn't it? That he gets to make those decisions.
Well, I mean, that was part of his contract with the Patriots. He doesn't have a contract with anyone now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't think it might be his contract. I don't mean somebody go agree to it.
Well, there were also reports near the end of his time with the Patriots that he was willing to give up GM duties to let someone else do that part. So I feel like he would be willing to give up the GM part. Like Bill Belichick, I doubt he was going to be the GM in Atlanta. Atlanta is already pretty stacked. They just need a quarterback, kind of, at least on offense.
They have a great line.
Yeah. Like, and they have Bijan Robinson, they have Kyle Pitts, they have Drake London. Like, Atlanta's a solid team. That would have been, I feel like if Atlanta was maybe going to like trade for Justin Fields or something, and then you bring in Bill Belichick, I could see it working. I think Bill Belichick probably by now realizes he's got to like ease up on the Patriot way thing, which Tom Brady says wasn't even real. Like Tom Brady in an interview like a day ago was like, there is no Patriot way like that. The like news.
It's just the way he coached. Yeah.
It's just the way he coaches.
Yeah,
So,
but how many old grouchy 75-year-old men are just suddenly like, yeah, I'm going to try something new?
ones that are 15 games away from winning.
Yeah, I was like, is their career on the line, John? Huge news for when you find out that stubbornness does not equate to legendary status for the rest of eternity. The next 20 years when the earth cooks.
Yeah,
I feel like just Bill if he did get hired and then over 3 seasons he goes to like 15 or whatever and then fired and nobody else hires him.
Well, I could absolutely see him like doing a couple 8 and 9 seasons on his way to winning that all-time winningest record. But hey, then he got it at least, and then he can quit.
Yeah, I do like that the Jets love taking old Patriots coaches.
Yeah,
and
I mean the Jets
Patriots
haven't done
players.
this, but they should.
Didn't they get Brett Favre after he played for the Patriots? I mean, for the Jets for a year.
I think he went the Vikings, then Jets, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, he went. Yeah,
Vikings, then Jets, and yeah, when Aaron Rodgers was asked about that, he was like, "Yeah, I hope me coming here isn't a repeat of what happened with Favre." And it's like, well,
not technically.
Careful what you wish for, dude.
Wait, let's see your phone records real quick, and we'll see if it's the same.
Yeah,
we'll see what you've sent. We'll see what you've sent. We'll see the phone sexual assaults that you've made.
No, he just sends fucking QAnon shit now instead of dick pics.
Oh yeah, Aaron Rodgers. God, I wonder if Jordan Love is keeping up with those two in that way too.
Yeah, do you think he's like before he sends a dick pic, he's like vaxxed? Question mark. Yes. Nah, never mind.
Jesus Christ, I can't imagine that locker room. That guy is so fucking annoying.
I bet it smells so bad around his locker. He seems like the guy that probably like uses a crystal as deodorant.
Yeah. I bet his locker smells like patchouli.
I guarantee you he brushes his teeth with Tom's of Maine. 1000%. He's like,
no, just use baking soda. Baking soda under your armpits. Same thing, bro. Keeps you dry.
Sure isn't.
Absolutely not.
It sure isn't. And if you just wore the deodorant, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation right now. Gives you cancer. Everything is going to. Literally everything.
God, man, in like 4 years, he made such a 180. People were like, yeah, maybe he will retire and host Jeopardy. He's not that bad. Then we was like, I see why this guy's fucking family hates him.
Did you see him on Jeopardy?
Nah, people were talking about it.
He was bad.
I wrote an article about it. There's no way he was gonna actually host Jeopardy. He was terrible, and I think he has CTE. I think
they were just trying to get football. I think they were trying to get football people to watch Jeopardy.
Yeah, and they did.
Yeah,
for a week. All right, fuck Aaron Rodgers. Let's talk about the NFC Championship round before we get to talking about the brand new Lions. Let's talk Chiefs versus Ravens. Did Lamar Jackson bomb in this game?
Not at all, but I'm a Lamar Jackson apologies.
Yeah, I don't think the Ravens actually have that much to be discouraged about. They held the Chiefs to 17 points, I believe. They were a goal line fumble away from Lamar Jackson also putting up 17 points, at which point we'd be like, this was two great quarterbacks playing against two great defenses. And like, I don't know. I think the Ravens will be back. Like Lamar Jackson right now is about where Peyton Manning was at this point in his career. Like people forget Peyton Manning got annihilated in the press to the point that I even was like, God, I hope Peyton Manning wins a Super Bowl someday. And he fucking did against the Bears in 2006. So
that's what you get.
That's a bit of a monkey paw, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is very interesting to look at that and to see, like, he's also like, how old is Lamar Jackson?
Like 28, right?
He's like 27, I think.
Yeah, he's got time, and God, he had, especially that first half, like he was a shining star.
He caught his own pass.
If anything, the offensive coordinator dropped the ball. Like you got like the fastest quarterback in the league, right? You want to draw some plays for that, or maybe some running back plays?
Yeah, one of the things I've seen mentioned is that the way this game was called from an offensive standpoint, it was like they were trying to prove a point that Lamar Jackson can win by staying in the quarterback and being a pocket passer. And it's like,
it's not how you got here, bro.
Yeah, prove your point during the regular season. You're trying to go to the Super Bowl.
I think what is also being sort of ignored here, which is ironic because it's the last thing that anybody's ignoring during the season, is just how good Travis Kelce was.
Yeah,
like he was like that game I was watching, I was like, God damn, like he was doing just.
But at the same time, like Travis Kelce made some cool catches, but the Chiefs still only put up 17 points.
That is
like,
true.
And I think that is not being taken into account enough. Like, I don't think the Ravens should be discouraged by this at all.
No,
like,
and I don't think they are really.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like Lamar Jackson's not. Zay Flowers is probably going to be a little bummed out for a while.
Why?
Made a few mistakes in that game. But, man, the Chiefs also, Marquez Valdez-Scantling being the one who caught the pass to ice that game, that was fucking poetry, man. Because all anyone has been talking about all season is the Chiefs wide receivers can't catch the ball. Valdez-Scantling is the one who dropped that pass when they lost to the Eagles, I believe, where people were like, are the Chiefs done? And it's like, if he caught that pass, the Chiefs easily win that game. Yeah. And he was like the face of that. Oh, the Chiefs aren't going to win because their receivers can't catch the ball. And for him to be the one to make that catch falling backwards, like, oh, that, the Chiefs, man, like, what do you do? Like, you have to be perfect to beat the fucking Chiefs.
The Chiefs are the new Patriots.
Yeah, and they have an equally dorky. I don't know. Patrick Mahomes is just a bit dorky. I'm just kind of tired of him. That's why I really wanted the Ravens to win.
I love Patrick Mahomes as a player. He seems like a good teammate. Like, even when Valdez-Scantling dropped that pass against the Eagles, Mahomes came out and was like, well, one play doesn't decide the game. There were all kinds of mistakes. And also, I could have thrown a little shorter, made it an easier pass. Like, Mahomes, aside from that one offsides call in that game where that Kelce play got called back, Mahomes always says the right shit. Like, he
owns it.
Yeah, he's hard to rattle. Like, there was a debate on one of the shows this week. Would you rather have Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes in a big game? And I would take Mahomes. Like,
hell yeah.
I trust Mahomes inherently when the game is on the line. And I've seen him throw an interception or two in those moments. I think he threw one in the Super Bowl against Tom Brady. See, that's the thing. Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, that's going to be a debate forever. And Tom Brady will sort of always win because the only question is head to head. And Tom Brady won that. And we're never going to have another head to head Mahomes Brady Super Bowl. So if they both put up the same, if they both win, I mean, Patrick Mahomes is going to put up significantly more passing yards and touchdowns than Tom Brady. Like
but we don't. The thing about football more than any other sport is like you don't know that because of injuries.
You don't know that because of injuries, but the other variable when it comes to Patrick Mahomes catching Tom Brady in terms of Super Bowls, Tom Brady went 10 years without winning a Super Bowl. From 2005 to 2015, the Patriots, like people forget that there's two Patriots dynasties and there's a decade in between them.
During that decade, though, they did make it to the Super Bowl a few times. It's just,
which doesn't matter at all if we're talking about who wins the most Super Bowls.
Well, that's true, but I mean, there's a lot to it. But Mahomes is great. Like, he is undeniably wonderful as a player, just really dominant. But it's just, does he have the long-term staying power in the NFL?
Yeah, well, and see what I'm saying about the next 10 years is he might not need it. Like, I feel like Mahomes can catch Brady in every way without playing until he's 45.
Because what Brady has 6 rings, right?
Yeah. And Mahomes, if they win this next Super Bowl, he'll have 3 already. So
I mean, it's the crop of quarterbacks. I will say this though, I think Mahomes is playing, aside from like the few really dominant quarterbacks that Brady had to play against. Really, it was like Peyton Manning, and then were people really dominant? Like, I think the quarterback classes that Mahomes has to play against are harder, and that might make it tougher.
I don't know if they are. Like, I think Mahomes is kind of by himself in terms of quarterbacks. Like, Josh Allen's great, but Josh Allen doesn't win. Like, Josh Allen wins in the regular season, and
he's the Peyton Manning of that at that point.
I love how the media try and pretends like Josh Allen, like it's some rivalry. Like, for it to be a rivalry, you got to win.
Yeah, I think they're friends, actually. Like, they're
I mean, like, they make it seem like it's a skills rivalry. Like, I wouldn't even put Josh Allen as the number 2 best quarterback in the league.
No, I would say Joe Burrow, especially if you're talking head to head with Mahomes, because who has beat Mahomes in the NFC Championship? Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Like, but with Joe Burrow, I think it's going to be, can he stay healthy? And then, there's Josh Allen, there's Joe Burrow. I'm interested to see what Justin Herbert does under Jim Harbaugh.
Lamar Jackson, he's up there. What's the CJ Stroud? CJ Stroud, man, that kid is going to be a problem.
Yeah, I think Jordan Love is going to be really, really good. Also,
I hate to admit it, but definitely, and I don't even like the Packers, but Jesus Christ.
I need him to excel for rookie card reasons. Go on.
I feel like maybe the thing I said that you guys were like, I don't know if that's sure. But like, looking at it now, like, the quarterbacks that are dominating right now are very young. Like, it's a younger crop of quarterbacks, which means that this group has a long time to develop being what they like. I don't know if we've seen a group of like young quarterbacks this strong since like 1984 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way to settle this discussion other than fast forwarding 10 years.
Yeah.
But I don't think any of them are in Patrick Mahomes' class. Patrick Mahomes is a Michael Jordan. Patrick Mahomes is a LeBron James. Definitely. Josh Allen is a Patrick Ewing. He's a Charles
Kyrie Irving. I wouldn't. Oh, come on, Charles is different.
Like,
he's like
a
Kyrie Irving, maybe.
But you gotta wait. We still have to wait till they're done. Like, that's the thing. Is like talking about retired players and being like, he's like a Charles Barkley, and it's like, well, why don't we wait until his career is done before we compare him to a retired player?
Yeah, we sure can. But that's fair. But also, until then, you can't compare him to Mahomes. Like, you absolutely, from a skills standpoint, a winning standpoint, like, there's nothing to compare Josh Allen to Mahomes other than I think Josh Allen throws a lot of interceptions.
I don't think anybody on this show is saying that Mahomes is not the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah, but I think he's so good that, like, it's almost a disservice to be like, but what about Josh Allen? It's like, what about Josh Allen?
That's true. Yeah, the media, like ESPN, been doing that. Like, what are y'all talking about?
They're talking about ratings.
Right.
Yeah, I think Brady and Mahomes is the only conversation to have at this point. And I don't know, like, I can just see Mahomes being that Michael Jordan type where people are like, yeah, I'm sure Lamar Jackson would have won a Super Bowl if not for playing at the same time as Mahomes.
Yeah.
Who knows?
All right, let's get it out the way.
Anyway, who
Pull
was
the
right about
Band-Aid
their
off.
picks? I picked the Chiefs. Who did you pick, Adam?
Chiefs. I'm not betting against Jordan.
Yeah, I picked the Ravens because I was voting with my heart.
Yeah.
But
Oh, I thought you meant for the Super Bowl. Yeah, I bet I picked the Ravens too. But like, if I had to put money on it, or if I'm for the Super Bowl, it gotta be. I just wanted the Ravens to win.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
That's
but let's talk about the other game though.
Yeah, this
how
one
I
will be
was.
quick because we got a lot of other topics anyway.
Oh, we only have one more after this, so we got time to dwell. Don't worry. Let's talk about Lions v 49ers. Here's the thing. Once the Ravens lost, I kind of wanted the Lions to win because, like, I wanted Lamar Jackson to win a Super Bowl. And beyond that, I could go either way. Now I absolutely want, I don't know who I want to win. I think I still want the Chiefs to win. But let's talk about Lions versus Niners. Dan Campbell is a good coach. And I think that's why the Lions lost. Because Dan Campbell, very controversially, went for it on 4th down when they had the opportunity to kick a field goal that would have put them up 3 scores. Yes, very difficult field goal for a kicker who was about 50% from that distance.
Okay, I was about to say that in his defense. Our kicker's been iffy, and also, like, I watched every Lions games. Our secondary has been getting torn apart.
But also,
so I feel like he was trying to.
Let's not forget that your receiver core at the end of the game dropped most things.
Right.
That's the thing that people.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. What I'm getting at, Dan Campbell's a good coach. Dan Campbell stuck with what he did all season, and this time it didn't work. And yes, lots of people have been like, okay, but if he converted on those 4th downs, we'd be calling him a genius. Sure, but he didn't. He didn't convert on those 4th downs. And here's the thing. He's a good coach for sticking with what he did all season, for sticking with what got him there. A great coach would fucking adjust.
That's the answer, yeah.
Like, a great coach would be like, sure, we've been going for it on 4th down in every moment this season. We should probably kick here, though. Like, the momentum of going up, because you're only talking a difference of what, like 10 yards? Like, if you go for it there and don't get it, you are already pretty much in field goal range. So the Niners are going to get good field position if you go for it and miss. So you might as well go for the field goal, which could end in you getting 3 points. And I actually think the more egregious example of Dan Campbell kind of putting, like, his reputation above winning games is the Cowboys game.
Yeah, after they cheated us.
Yeah, after the Lions had to commit identity fraud to get into the end zone on that 2-point conversion where they sent like 8 people up to the ref to all be like, I'm eligible. And then, like, they got called for a penalty, kick the fucking extra point and go to overtime. Like, why in that moment were you still pushing it and still being like, oh, I'm Dan Campbell, we bite ankles? Motherfucker, win the game. Like, and also, like, do you even have a field goal kicker? Like, do the Lions have one?
Yeah,
we do, but at distances, he hasn't been amazing. So
that's probably because Dan Campbell only lets him kick from like 50 yards out.
Yeah.
And he goes for it every other time.
He's like, oh, it's 4th and 18. I guess we should probably try for a field goal at this point. It's so fascinating to look back and you look at highlights and lowlights of this game, and it really comes down to the fact that the second half, the receivers just like went into a coma. If you look at how many conversion passes that they dropped, It's like they dropped like 5 conversion passes. That's gonna do you in. Like, that right there is legitimately going to tank your entire plan.
And this is legitimately the worst, like, sports loss I've seen in my adult life. I just seen it. I mean, on the plus side, it's only year 3 of a serious rebuild, but man, but
I
The
also like
problem is you kind of caught the NFC North in a season when everyone's rebuilding. I know it's wishful thinking, but I feel like the Bears are going to be a lot better next year. I mean, the Bears finished really strong, including beating the Lions. The Packers made the playoffs and won a playoff game, and they're like the youngest team in the league. So, I mean, I feel like the Lions are still going to be good, but it's going to be tougher.
I'm gonna
yeah.
go
But
out
also,
on a limb and say that the Patriots will be better next year because they literally have to be better next year. It's impossible to not be.
That's not true. Look at the Carolina Panthers.
I know.
yeah. On the plus, I was going to say that on the plus side, at least we're not the Carolina Panthers who like gave up everything and still ain't gonna have shit next year for the draft.
That trade that they made with the Bears makes no sense. They gave us so much. And now we get the number 1 overall pick next year.
Right. Like, I know it's not on the list, but what do you want the Bears to do with the quarterback situation?
I want them to keep Justin Fields and trade that number 1 pick. One of the possible scenarios I saw was them trading the number 1 pick to the Falcons for Drake London and trade and draft picks, and then going after Marvin Harrison Jr. also. So then our receiving core next season would be DJ Moore, Drake London, Marvin Harrison Jr., or they go after what is the tight end's name? I can't think of it.
Travis Kelce.
Yeah, exactly. No, but there's a tight end in college right now who's just a fucking baller. And the other idea was go for him, put Cole Kmet on the other end, and then you have DJ Moore, Drake London. I want us to keep Fields. I don't think we should trade Justin Fields. Like, you never know. Like, the Panthers had the number 1 pick last year, and I bet they wish they had the number 2 pick because they probably would have gotten CJ Stroud.
Kyle in the chat says he thinks you're talking about Brock Bowers.
Yes, Brock Bowers. That is the tight end that I've also heard the Bears might target if they keep Justin Fields.
Speaking of Brocks, when was Brock Purdy picked in the draft?
Well,
Brock Purdy.
Last in the first round, or was he the last quarterback?
He was the last person.
The last
Oh,
person
okay, yeah, that's
picked.
what it was. Yeah,
They saw him wearing like a polo shirt tucked into a pair of crisp khakis, and they were like, "This guy's not going to be able to do it."
Yeah, Brock Purdy, he's so good, and I feel like he's never going to be good enough for people. The craziest argument I heard about Brock Purdy all year was when people were like, "All right, but what about those games he lost when Deebo Samuel and Ayuk were both hurt?" And it's like the entire story around Aaron Rodgers for years was, oh, the Packers don't give him enough weapons. And now with Brock Purdy, it's, oh, yeah, but he's got all those weapons. Without them, he wouldn't be that good. And what I'm getting at is Aaron Rodgers is no better than Brock Purdy.
There's chemistry behind talent, too, that people seem to forget. Like, Tom Brady wasn't the best quarterback in college. It took the chemistry of being placed in a spot with somebody that was going to work for him, with people that were going to build something around him after he took over for a franchise quarterback that basically ran around like Frankenstein.
Yeah. There's something to be said for chemistry. There's something to be said for falling into the right situation.
Yeah.
Like, people don't give the Tampa Bay Buccaneers enough credit for Tom Brady's winning a Super Bowl with them. Like, Baker Mayfield almost took that team to a Super Bowl. Like, that team was really, really, really fucking good. And they just needed Tom Brady to not make mistakes.
To bring Gronk in too.
Yeah.
And hey, bring your buddy while you're here.
Yeah. So, yeah, Brock Purdy, it's his second season. He's won more playoff games than a lot of quarterbacks already. He's been to a Super Bowl. This is almost made a Super Bowl last year, going to the Super Bowl this year. Like, I don't know what else people want from Brock Purdy. He played so good against the Lions.
Yeah. And he's better than the 5'10", 170-pound quarterback the Panthers drafted.
Yeah.
They drafted Doug Flutie in a pair of Groucho glasses.
Yeah, I was just going to say, he's got lots of Doug Flutie energy.
He's scrappy.
He's just a little guy.
Like, they claim he's 6 feet, but I don't know.
Bryce,
like, what do you wait?
They said that about Jeff Garcia too, and everyone's like,
I don't know who that is, but they said that about Iverson too. And when he played for the Pistons, everybody in Detroit is like, that guy's like 5'10" tops.
Yeah. So Jeff Garcia is a quarterback that played for every team that's ever existed.
Yeah, he got around.
He's the backup quarterback of NFL history.
Shit, well, shoot, at least he made a really good living. Wow, that's
he 100% did.
And then married a Playboy Playmate.
God, to be a backup quarterback, huh?
Yeah,
man. So he won't have CTE. He's rich and he married a fucking Playmate. Man, I want that life.
Jeff Garcia though was like backup plus. Like,
no,
Jeff
he was the best.
Good.
He was the best backup quarterback that has ever lived.
Yeah,
like he was good.
So Super Bowl predictions. I'm never picking against the Chiefs again in my entire life.
Not at all.
No, why would you do that? I would think it would be a great story if the Niners took it, but come on.
Yeah, I'd be ecstatic if the Niners won.
I think we're all head and hearting this one, where our heads are all like, it's got to be the Chiefs, and our hearts are like, but I hope it's the Niners.
Yeah, and honestly, this is how you know the NFL not scripted, because like this is the least fun one. Like literally, they were polling the United States. Everybody wanted it to be the Ravens and the Lions, or at least one of them, and we got the most boring option.
Yeah,
I think everyone wanted the Lions. Like that's the thing. Like
but for AFC, they were showing it was like 49 states for the Ravens, also outside of Maryland, of course.
Yeah,
I mean, you know.
All right. Can we close with a little bit of a conspiracy theory on my part?
I'd love it.
There's big news that broke this week. Tom Brady is finally going to be in the broadcast booth with Fox Sports. He is bumping Greg Olsen from the #1 sports analyst position, which people are up in arms about that. But I feel like Greg Olsen probably knew that was coming, because Tom Brady was supposed to be in the broadcast booth last season.
The famously entertaining Tom Brady.
Yeah, exactly. Which brings us to my conspiracy theory. I think Tom Brady stayed in the NFL an extra season to distract from the plastic surgery he knew he was going to get to go on TV. If everyone remembers, last season, there was a point where Tom Brady left training camp, and everyone was like, he's good. They said it was for personal reasons. Coach was like, yeah, we've known about this for a while. It's fine. And when he came back, his face looked different.
Dude.
Hell yeah.
Like, what happened with those? Like,
yeah, bro, I thought it was me. I'm looking like,
drawn
why
like
does he look like a fucking
Flux
serial killer? My bad. You said what?
I said he's drawn like an Eon Flux character.
He looks like
a fucking serial killer.
Yeah.
It's like Mac Tonight. The one day I'm not drinking out of my Mac Tonight glass, which is probably filled to the brim with lead.
And like, it was big news at the time. Like, everyone, the minute they saw Tom Brady after he got back from that break, was like, what happened to your face? And here's the thing. I think Tom Brady knew that if he got this plastic surgery and then immediately became a television personality where people were looking at that grill every week, that plastic surgery was going to be the entire story. It was not only going to be the entire story, it was going to be a permanent addition to his legacy. And instead, go ahead.
I was going to say he looked like the handsome Squidward.
Yes. That shit looked weird, man. And I hadn't even heard the rumors. I just was looking at him like, he looks like an old guy trying to look like a young guy.
everyone's like, oh man, can you believe that his wife left him because he went to play football? I'm like, maybe it's because he came back with a shaved bone. And
Yeah.
she's just like, what the fuck did you do?
And yeah, I feel like by playing that extra season, he knew, like, even if people asked him about it, he could very rightfully be like, I'm focusing on football. I'm not talking about that right now. And rightfully so, the entire story last season was, shit, is Tom Brady going to win another Super Bowl? And if
With
he had
that
just
face?
gone, yeah, if he had just gone into broadcasting last season, the story would have been, yeah, I guess he's good at broadcasting, but what's up with that face?
Yeah, why does he look like a CVS skeleton on clearance?
So yeah, I honestly think that's why he came back. He had no like the way his career would have ended, perfect. And it was still like he still made it to the NFC Championship. They almost made it to the Super Bowl, but they didn't. Like it was kind of anticlimactic.
I feel like there's a mix of that, but there's also the idea of like, you know, can't stop. It's Jordan on the Bobcats or what, or the Wizards, you know, the kind of energy. But also at the same time, it's just like he could have just taken a year off.
Yeah. And people still would have been like, is he taking a year off because he got
Did he need the money?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. He had nothing to gain by coming back for that last season with Tampa Bay. He lost his wife over it. He could, like, I think he was trying to distract. Like I don't think he wanted that to be the story. And he knew that was going to be the story.
Let's all acknowledge that the decision to go to football was not going to ruin a perfect marriage. Like, I think that was
right.
You know, I think that was
but
more
also, but also if your marriage is hanging by a thread,
right. Yeah.
then you might want to be like, all right, you're right. I should probably take this year off.
there
Also,
could be
let's move to Tampa Bay.
There could be another conspiracy theory that you could put in there as well, which is the playing the football could distract from whatever horrible reasons they were actually getting divorced.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, it's because of football. It's like, is it?
Yeah, but I mean, then you're getting into like, I don't know.
Conspiracy theories?
Well, I mean, like celebrity gossip and shit.
Yes.
I'm talking
they are celebrities. Yes, that is correct.
I'm talking sports, straight sports right now.
He's a sports celebrity. That is correct.
I just always think it's weird when guys refuse to like just age. Like I don't know. Maybe Tom Brady doesn't think he has the face of it. Like to me, it's kind of cool to live long enough to have. If I keep my dreads, have gray dreads and the salt and pepper beard. Like, dude, you growing into a older, rich, gentlemanly man. Now he looks like a fucking skeleton.
Vanity is a hell of a thing, man.
Was Tom Brady not moisturizing? Like that would be
he slept in a chamber of moisturizer.
Then why does he got to fix his face?
Because
like,
I don't think it was a skin thing, was it? Wasn't it like bone structure? That doesn't have anything to do with moisturizer.
What was wrong with his bone structure?
I don't know.
Me and Tom, I'm not that much older than Tom Brady, and I feel like I'm not even close to needing to get like.
What surgery do you think he got?
Yeah, nobody needs the surgery he got.
I don't know. I don't know what surgery
he got. Like a facelift and some shit.
Like buccal fat or whatever.
Yeah, it looks like he got his buccal fat removed, and it looks like someone grabbed him from the back of the scalp and pulled it, and then tied that in a knot.
What's weird is, isn't he one of those guys like, I don't eat anything that's red or broccoli and shit, but now I'm about to let these doctors do all this shit? Like,
and it's like,
so you don't eat fun food, but you do this shit?
How are you taking this much care of yourself and your face is still falling apart faster than mine? I don't get it.
I feel like he probably was just like, I don't like my face and I want to change it. I don't know if it has
I think that's what it was. He got a little bit of that.
With it being like a lack of upkeep, I think he's probably just like, I think I could Matt Rife my cheekbones or whatever.
I guess. It's just such a weird, like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to think of Tom Brady that way. Like Tom Brady, like, I don't know. Like,
has anybody ever gone out to say he's like a nice guy? Like, why wouldn't you think of
I don't think getting plastic surgery makes you mean. Like, I don't think he's a bad guy. I don't like it's hard to grapple with someone like Tom Brady having that kind of self-esteem issue, I guess, where you're like, look at you, Tom Brady. You look fine.
He was the hottest guy married to the hottest woman in the world. It probably hits you hard as you age rapidly. Like, I don't know what litmus test to compare it to. Like,
yes,
but also you're right. It's like, it is definitely a big difference between being under the public, in the public eye and under their scrutiny, and just, regular people.
You're not going to make this make sense for me.
No,
it's absolutely not going to happen. Like, I don't get it.
It's the same thing with Madonna. When people saw Madonna showing up and they were just like, what the hell happened? You were the hottest woman in the world. It's like, well, shit ages and people don't know how to deal with it properly. And they didn't get the therapy to deal with that aspect of it because they were too busy making millions of dollars.
Yeah, she's probably stressed from being sued for plagiarism 20 plus times in her career. All right.
Being sued for being in that Guy Ritchie movie.
Good. All right. I think we did it. Do we have any other sports things? Not really. Not in the notes. So I guess no.
No, we're good. No other sports.
Nothing else is happening in sports at all. Crazy.
Adam and I, we got a surprise coming to you guys. We're going to do an unboxing soon, a break of a real fun thing.
We are. I am looking forward to that.
Would you finally go show that $5 million Michael Jordan card you got off of Adam? Does Jeff know that story?
I mean, all of the internet knows that story now. So I think that's our episode, right? Follow You Don't Show on Instagram. That's you can follow that too, but You Don't Sports is You Don't Even Like Sports on Instagram. We post clips, we post updates, we post
clips. You got clips?
We post opinions. People are mad at me for saying no one cares about Jason Kelce retiring.
The Philadelphia people found you.
Oh, I stand by it. And for
Nobody
everyone who's
shit about Jason Kelce retiring.
And here's the thing. Okay, go ahead, say it, Jeff.
I did say that though, and then the way the video went up, it made it look like I was like, no one cares about those, and I was like, oh man, now I look bad.
Well, no, but because your argument was, well, he's considered one of the greatest centers in history, right?
Yeah.
Name 2 through 5.
Fair enough. Was literally about to say that. Name 2 through 3.
Yeah, no one can name a fucking center. Like, name the starting center on your team.
Fair enough.
No one cares about Jason Kelce. They care about Travis Kelce. But anyway, I think that is our episode. That's going to be the clip for this week.
Just great. Thanks for that.
No problem.
Can't wait to get doxxed on social media.
Yeah, people were upset, and it was very funny. All right. Let's do we have anything else? Everyone plug something quick. YouTube, we spend too much time plugging things.
My YouTube's at Hey There Jeffro. Go to that.
Yo, what?
My YouTube is at Hey There Jeffro. Okay.
And my new video on my YouTube video channel drops February 1st. Is premiering. So you decided to make a reboot, episode 3 of my new series.
Tell people where to find it.
Oh, Jawn Louis. Adam had to spell it. I spelled it a weird way so that it's Googleable. I don't know.
You could have just spelled it.
Jawn Louis, like the second most famous civil rights activist. I would never come up.
All right, let us get out of here. John, say goodbye.
All right, holler at you next time.
Jeff, please say goodbye.
All right, I'll holler at you next time.
Goodbye, everybody. We love you. Goodbye, live stream.
Bye, live stream. Bye. Get out of here. You're not welcome here anymore.
We love you in a romantic way.
We want to kiss you. We want to kiss you.
We want to touch you under the shirt, live stream.
We want to smooch your belly button.
Little raspberries on that butt. Goodbye.